What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into lobster rolls. I'll be covering both the Maine lobster roll and the Connecticut style lobster roll. Today I'm actually using live lobsters. These handsome gentlemen are 2 pounds each, roughly. If you're not into cooking live lobsters, no big deal. You can buy frozen lobster meat that includes claw and knuckle, or just get some lobster tails from your local grocery store. Here's a quick anatomy lesson. We have the lobster claw. Where I'm pointing to right here is the way you would humanely kill the lobster with a sharp knife, and the lobster tail. Go ahead and pop them into some boiling water that's been heavily salted for about 8 to 12 minutes and stir occasionally. You'll notice that the tail begins to curl up as they begin to get bright in color. That indicates the lobsters are just about done cooking. When they are cooked through, we're gonna pop them into some ice cold water. This will stop the cooking process. Basically, we don't want to overcook our lobster because lobster meat tends to get very tough and rubbery if it's overcooked. And that's not pleasant to eat in a lobster roll. One super pro tip is to lay out some paper towels or newspapers or get a mop bucket or something, because this process right here gets rather wet and messy. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. We're making lobster rolls. So make sure you remove the claw, the legs, and the tail. You can save the shells to make seafood stock later or just throw it in the trash. Oh, Jesus. Told ya. This must be what Cardi B was talking about in her new song. All right, now that the waterworks are over, it's time to remove the lobster meat from the shell. So break out your hammer, mallet, rolling pin, crab cracker, or kitchen scissors, whatever you got. Whatever it takes to extract that delicious meat from the shell. Not to mention it's a recession, and lobster is not cheap, so we don't want any of that delicious meat to go to waste. Make sure you get all the meat out of the knuckles, the tail, the claws, all of that. For those of you that are using lobster tails, make sure you pay attention right here. You want to take your scissors and cut down each side of the lobster tail. That will allow the meat to dislodge from the shell relatively easily, like so. There we go. And just repeat that process until you have some delicious lobster meat that is ready to be doused in either butter or a mayo-based sauce, depending on if you're in the Connecticut or the Maine camp. Cut your lobster into bite-sized chunks. Let me know in the comments which style of lobster roll you prefer. Looking good. Just make sure you don't have any shells or anything like that. That would be unpleasant. I made 3 piles because I'm making 3 lobster rolls. We're starting with the Maine-style lobster roll, which is a mayo-based sauce. All of the specific ingredients are listed in the description below as always. To the mayo, I'm adding some lemon zest along with some lemon juice. About a half a lemon worth. Try to make sure you don't get any seeds mixed into your mayo. Next, we're adding some diced celery along with some fresh dill. A little bit of parsley. Give that a nice whisk. Allow those flavors to marry, or have a one-night stand if you're afraid of commitment. The star of the show, as always, Old Faithful, Old Bay. I went ahead and added a little bit more mayonnaise and a little bit more lemon juice. Just because I have quite a bit of lobster meat, I need this to stretch a little bit further. And last but not least, just a splash of sweet pickle juice, just to brighten things up a little bit, add a little bit of sweetness to the party. Once everything is well incorporated, we're gonna toss in our lobster meat. As I said, taste as you go. Make sure the flavor is spot on. As you can see by my second taste, it's tasting pretty good. But I think I'll add a little bit more Old Bay, because why the hell not? Once the flavor is right, we're adding in all that lobster meat. This is enough for 2 lobster rolls here. Go ahead and fold that in, being careful not to break up your lobster into small pieces. Went ahead and added the rest of that dill. Dill really brightens things up, but if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. Once that's done, pop that in the fridge. And now we're on to the buns. The key to a lobster roll is a top split hot dog bun. These happen to be brioche, but any sweet roll would work just fine. Next, we're going to mince up some roasted garlic. This is going to be for our Connecticut version of the lobster roll, which basically is just butter, a little bit of celery, which is optional, and this roasted garlic, which is also optional. So we're going in with 2 tablespoons of butter, that roasted garlic, melt that butter down, add in the celery, and just cook that down for a minute or 2. A little bit of chive as well, why not? I think you know where this is going. Oh yeah, more Old Bay. Can't get enough of that stuff. Shout out to DC, Maryland, Virginia. Add in enough lobster meat for however many lobster rolls you're making. Toss it in that delicious butter mixture. The flavor from the roasted garlic, the celery, all that good stuff. Of course, you got to toast your buns. So get a skillet nice and hot, add some butter, and toast both sides of your top split hot dog bun. We're going to start with the Connecticut lobster roll here for plating. Once it's been coated in that delicious butter mixture, go ahead and load it up on your bun. And then, of course, just douse it with a little bit more butter because we're being extra healthy today. I think that counts as a money shot. Man, that's looking good. All right, a little bit of diced chive just for a pop of color and a little flavor. Food porn at its finest. And there you have it, folks. That is a Connecticut style lobster roll. Moving on to the state of Maine. This is the Mayo-based style that I showed you earlier. We are loading this hot dog bun to maximum capacity because I'm a savage and I was particularly hungry this day. I'm actually pretty hungry right now doing this voiceover. I'm cutting the carbs out in August because I'm trying to stay in shape. And damn, these buns look good. A little bit of diced chive on these as well, followed by a trademark money shot. That's a beautiful trio if I don't say so myself. Gotta give this a taste. The mayo-based sauce definitely is probably my favorite out of the 3 or out of the 2. Delicious. Hope you guys enjoy the recipe. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and enable those notifications. And as always, thank you for your support.